Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. But you won't get that word out of me because I can't even say it. And I'm not having dinner. I'm eating a pretzel. The best thing about going into Penrith is to go to Pretzel World. I love pretzels. Right, and they've got cinnamon ones. Anyway, I am sorry that I am late. And thanks, Ben. All right, tonight we're just gonna go through with our theme, considering it was Easter. We're going to talk about rabbits. Not so much rabbits, but Easter bunnies. Okay. First victim, Kanga.
Hey.
I want you to tell me about your best ever favourite Easter hunt.
That's going to be. Has Kanga been on a unique Easter? There's too many to tell, but there was one very unique one. And you can imagine when you're a young boy, at that nice prime age, when you hear about chocolate Easter eggs, well, you're always. So I went to this beautiful Easter hunt in North Sydney, I believe. My God, the place was huge. Finding a lot of chocolate Easter eggs was pretty hard to come by. I had to make sure of that. I said I had to get 2 buckets. He goes, "What do you mean by that?" I said, "Well, I'm a hungry Easter man. Got to find all those Easter bunny eggs before someone else gets them." He chuckled and he goes, "You can't find those 2 buckets." I go in there, I got 2 buckets and a bit more, and he goes, "Geez, how did you do that?" I said, "It's an Easter bunny magic trick. Just left them laying in one big pile." I said it was just resting there so nice I could take it. Told me to stop it. That's it. That was one of
Thank you, Kanga. I think that's a bit of a cheat. Yes. Diane. Why is my screen going like that? There she is. Diane, I'd like you to tell me when was the last... Hang on. I want you to tell me about your belief in the Easter Bunny.
Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master. My belief in the Easter Bunny. The Easter Bunny, for me, has been this incredible magical creature who has really assisted me in my parenting. My first daughter loved the dummy. She was totally didn't wear nappies to bed at the age of 2, but still wouldn't give up that dummy. And so after she was 2, she was 2.5, and we said that the Easter Bunny was coming, but the Easter Bunny only gave big, tall bunny rabbits to little girls that didn't have dummies. And so my daughter happily gave up the dummy. So for me, I've always used the mythical idea of the Easter Bunny to help persuade my children to change their behaviours. And that is my take on the Easter Bunny. Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master.
What a great idea. I know my eldest daughter, or my firstborn, She loved her dummy, and trying to get her off it was very, very hard. Her bottles were fine. Gave her a hammer. She sat in the driveway and smashed them all up. But her dummy, we told her that the dog ate it. And she said, but I want it back. I said, but you can't. It's in his belly. I said, we'll have to cut him open. She says, cut him open. I said, but then we'll have no Max. No, Max can keep it. Okay. Bradley, I'd like you, after you take yourself off mute, to tell us about your first ever bunny hunt.
Ooh. First ever bunny hunt. All right. So the first place I did a bunny hunt, it was on a property up in the Blue Mountains, and it was multi-level. Like the land itself was multi-level. So the house was just single story, but the house was on a real big slope. So there was a top garden, which was one level, and then there was the house level, which also had its own little garden there. Then under the house was kind of on stilts, so there was like a dirt part under the house that we could play in as well. And then there was a back garden, and then that went down to another tier and then back into the bush. So it wasn't the biggest property, but it was a multi-level property. And my mother thought it was a good idea to put the eggs everywhere. She put them all over the property on all the different levels. And it took my brother and I the entire morning, all the way up to lunchtime, to make our way through all the different levels. And my mother didn't tell us that she didn't hide any in the bush. So once we had made our way through the different levels, she'd gone inside because she'd been sick of waiting for us. And we just kept going into the bush. But we couldn't find the eggs there. So we thought she'd hidden them really well. So we're looking under rocks and stuff like that. And we were gone the whole morning. So our first Easter egg hunt was a bit of a disaster on my mum's behalf, because it meant that she lost us the entire morning and we got lost in the bush. Back to you, Pat.
That's great. Here was I thinking that you'd sit there and tell me about going out and shooting rabbits. Okay. Who keeps changing my screen?
That'd be me.
Not
on spotlight.
on, Ben. You're next.
Oh, good.
You're next.
I can do this then. Watch this. See?
Oh my God. All right, Benjamin. I'd like you to tell me what your favoritist Easter surprise was.
Oh, that's a good one. What my favourite Easter surprise was. You know, it's actually kind of funny because the first Easter I actually remember was when we actually moved to Ram Terrace. And we just moved in, I think it was around this time we just moved into a new place. But a couple of weeks before Easter, we used to use the actual yard before the houses over there as like a war trench. So because of all the granite dug out, the piping was in place, and me and my sister used to go around playing all the trenches. And anyway, I remember once I actually took my transformers down, and I sort of lost one under the house at one stage, because I realized I left it there one day. I came back a week later, the whole thing had been lost. Now, me being me, I'm thinking, okay, it's got to be in the backyard somewhere. So my Easter hunt consisted of me going to find my transformer that I'd lost. More than the eggs. I couldn't care about the eggs. I didn't care. I wanted my toy back because it was one that I needed for a set. I never found it, but it was fun looking. Thank you, Pat.
Okay. Now return my screen to everybody so I can see everyone's
I'm
beautiful
going to.
face.
Hang on a minute. There you go. See you back.
Yeah, but then I've got to go on so I can see everyone. Now I can see everyone. Okay. Tucky. Sounds like you're the last one.
Sure.
Okay, let me think. Because tonight I am working off the top of my head because I forgot all about it and never wrote things down. But I'd like you to tell me, have you ever had an Easter parade where you dressed up?
Yes. Yes, I have dressed up at an Easter parade, and boy, did I have fun. I remember when I was, well, they say yay high to a grasshopper, but I want to say that I had this amazing hat that I made, and I was so proud. I would have only been about 4 or 5, and we had to make a Easter hat, and I decorated it, and I was so proud, putting feathers and eggs and little ducks and ribbons all around the hat, and then placing it on my head. I thought I looked absolutely gorgeous. And then I wore a bright color outfit, so I actually look like a bit of an Easter egg as well. And when I was younger, I was a bit chunky, so I really did look like an Easter egg. So I felt I fitted right in to the Easter hat parade, and I just waddled along, and I was so proud of myself, looking great with my beautiful hat that I made and my bright colors that I was wearing, and I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Very good. I can't ever remember dressing up for Easter, but I can remember making my grandkids their Easter hats for the Easter hat parade. And my brother, God bless his soul, he made my daughter the best Easter bunny outfit. He made the ears, and the ears were like really long with coloured balls all over it. And he made the suit, the thing that went over the front, and it was all made of cardboard. And then he coloured it all in and put coloured pom-poms on it. And he made a big tail. It was about that big that she wore on her bum. And I thought that was great. But he was a very artistic person like that. But anyway.
Madam Table Topics Master, you've got Mark in the audience as well.
Do I? Okay, Mark.
Yes.
Your turn.
Okay, I'll try and do this. Trying to get my thing. Hi. It's
Hiya,
hard
Mark.
work, this timing, especially when you're doing it in a car. You're trying to complete this in a car, waiting for your son.
I'd like you to tell us what happened on your last Easter.
My last Easter, are you talking about this year or last year?
Well, that was your last Easter.
Okay. Last Easter weekend, I went to travel up north, up near Foster Tuncurry. I travelled up there with some friends. I saw some, not family, but more friends. And I spent a couple of days up there, went to the beach. It was good weather, had a barbecue. So my Easter was spent up the north coast. I visited a few places, Gloucester, Torwoods Village, Blackhead Beach, Redhead, Old Bar. So I visited a few places up north, and it was great. 3.5 hours north of Sydney. It took 4 hours to get home, but I enjoyed it. It was a great weekend.
So do you have any children?
I've got a son. He's 16 this weekend.
So
Yeah,
did you enjoy your Easter with your son?
yes, I did. Yes, it was great.
Did you hide his Easter eggs?
No, I don't. He's too old for that.
You're never too old.
No, never. But no, he's too old for that. He just likes to eat them.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Tell me,
Thank
everyone, who doesn't like Easter eggs? My point exactly. Everybody loves Easter eggs, don't you, Bob?
Sorry,
You love Easter eggs?
I love chocolates.
Same thing.
Doesn't have to be Easter.
That's enough said. All right, back to you, Madam Toastmaster.